cooking next?
Well, I want to talk. Let's talk a little Tottenham. Let's talk a little Tottenham,
man. We don't really cook Tottenham too much, so we need a special segment on Spurs.
And we all love a bit of fried chicken. Everyone loves a bit of fried chicken, so we should probably cook them more. I mean, they've gone from the opening 10 games where they're going to win the league. We got our Tottenham back to, I would say, the amount of fans, Spurs fans that I've seen that have said sacking before the second leg against Frankfurt. It's crazy. The fans have gone. Did you guys watch the game on Sunday?
No, I didn't see the game.
Oh my God!
Who was I watching on Sunday?
Well,
I saw the highlights.
That was on the same time as Chelsea and the same time.
I was watching Chelsea.
I watched Liverpool, West Ham. Yeah.
It was just. There's making mistakes individually, and my club did that, and you cook it. But the holes in the team, the ease, it was almost an easy game for Wolves. Does that make sense? And again, this is 2 years in. This is, do you know how much has been spent since Ange has been there? Ange, it's like 400 plus million has been spent. It's
crazy.
Again, that's not all his fault. Bad recruitment by them as a football club, but they look awful. What do you guys make of the calls from Spurs fans to get him out before they play on Thursday night against Frankfurt? I mean, is that the right way to do it? Do you understand where they're coming from? Or
I can't believe he's still there, man. I can't believe he's still there. We're talking about Spurs here. Where are they in the league, Belby? They 15th or something like that. This is a team that are there you go. This is a team that are absolutely dusted, man. Let's just be real. I mean, I'm here for it. It's beautiful as an Arsenal fan. It's hilarious, to be quite honest with you. And in the last 7-8 years, the form and the points tally of West Ham, Spurs, and Man United probably would have gotten relegated in previous side. That's how bad these three teams have been. I don't think it's been spoken about enough. It's just been typical. Oh, they lost again. Let's brush it aside. Nah, man. They deserve to be cooked. They're absolutely terrible. You're right. They spent a lot of money. Ange Postecoglou, he's had patience. He's had time. He's had one way of football. And there's no point of waiting to see what happens or if he changes, because he's already said he's not going to change. The way he plays is absolutely horrendous. It's brilliant to watch going forward when they're on fire. Awful to watch when it goes to pot. And for the last, 6-7 months, it ain't been good to watch for the majority of this season. Yeah, it ain't even been pretty to watch. The players they've brought in haven't banged. I get told every time we play them, combined 11s. Oh, combined 11s. We're going to put Porro in instead of Timber. And we've got Van de Ven, who's better than Saliba now. And Romero, who was a bozo again, funny enough, at the weekend. He's better than Gabriel. And all our left backs are better than yours. And we go for every single position. And we have a fight about why Basuma's better than Rice. And we have another chat about Bentancur being better than Partey. And the list goes on. And then you look at the team and you think, actually, it's not that great, is it? Is it all right? 11 when everyone's fit. I quite like Kulusevski. I think Maddison's all right on his day. We know Solanke can score goals, but isn't consistent. Son might have lost his legs, but has been unbelievable for them for the last decade. But let's just be real. What they're doing at the moment is a mess, man. It's an absolute mess. And I don't think they're good enough. I think they're a shambles of a club. I think they're an embarrassing fan base. I think they've got an owner who's turned them into a tourist attraction. As a businessman is class, but as a football club has destroyed it. And if I'm honest with you, I don't know why anyone would support Tottenham Hotspur. I actually just think they should just fold the club and become an NFL team, if I'm honest. If that's what they want to do, go and be an NFL stadium, go and do some nice concerts for Beyonce. Why would anyone want to support Tottenham? I think, honestly, you should ring like child abuse if their parents are saying support this football club. It is absolutely shambolic as a football club. And I can't stand them. And if I'm honest with you, I don't know why. Anyone would get excited. What have they got to look forward to? What is the point of Tottenham Hotspur? That's what
this is what I was asking. Who was asking this the other day? I was asking. Yeah, this is the question. Yeah, that I'm saying to this. Yeah, it's like what, and it's pretty mad. Yeah, because I know it sounds proper bad in it for Spurs fans to think we're actually just genuinely ripping them, but I'm actually not. I look at Spurs, I think, what is the purpose of Tottenham Hotspur with this ownership? Because they are not interested at all in winning anything. Yeah? Proof. Give me proof. They sacked Mourinho 1 week before the final. And if Pep Guardiola, name one manager Pep probably don't want to play against in a one-off game in the final, Mourinho's up there, isn't he? It's sacked him a week before. Yeah, this guy don't want to win. Ange, how have you still got a
Look at this comment.
Ange, that I don't know about that. I think that's
that's class.
I think that's bait, man. I think that's bait.
Surely it is, man.
Yeah,
Surely.
the only reason I can imagine he's still got a job is because he said he's going to win a trophy this year, and if they sack him now, he'll go in the press. He'll be like, "I would have won the Europa League." Whereas if they don't win the Europa League, they can sack him and say, "Well, it's been the worst season we've ever had in the Premier League, and you said you were going to win the trophy, and you didn't." Like, it's fully justified. I really, really don't understand how any Tottenham fan now can be Ange, because it's not as if, like, when Arteta was at Arsenal, yeah, like they finished, what, 8th or something? Like, that's bad, isn't it? But you're 15th. 15th. That is insane. I'm looking at the stats of Spurs, every single league finish in the history of the game, yeah. This is literally the worst Premier League record they've ever had. They've lost 17 games already this season. They've only lost more than that a few times. They lost 19 in 2003, 2004. So they're only 2 off that, and there's still 6 games to go. And then they lost 20 back in 1992. However, correct me if I'm wrong. I was not alive then. I'm pretty sure that was when it was more games in it that year. It wasn't 38. I think it was like 40. Is it 42 or something? So, yeah, he's probably going to break that record as well. He's like statistically the worst manager potentially they've ever had. I don't know. I've not done the full maths on it, but I'm looking at the stats and I'm struggling to find a manager that's worse than him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of the worst I've seen in their history. And like we said earlier, it was what did they spend? So that's 272 million and 175 in the summer. So they were looking at 300. We're honestly looking at like 350 odd mil has been spent.
They spend it on rubbish.
Players.
They spend it on. I have a real problem with this. I think they spend it so bad, right? So you look at their signings. When did Ange take over? Last year, yeah? Right. So Brennan Johnson.
Do you know who do you think? Listen? We go again. We could do the same exercise similarly with them, right? We'll do the same exercise with them. Let's go through their signings since he became their manager. So they signed. Let's go through it. So like first team signings, £18 million on Vicario.
Well, he's been all right, to be fair.
He's been okay.
He's not unbelievable. He flaps at corners, but he's been.
He probably needs to be replaced in the next year.
Needs to be upgraded.
Yeah,
he's all right, and the price they didn't overpay it.
Okay,
how much?
So
18 mil.
18 mil. Yeah. Okay. The next one here, 25 mil. Dragusin.
No. Flop.
Miss on that. Okay, that's 25. 30 million on Kulusevski.
Hit.
Yeah,
that's a hit. 40 million on Pedro Porro.
Probably a hit, but defensively I have question marks.
Okay, we'll keep that. There's 40 million on Van der Ven.
Yeah,
he's a good player. He needs to stay fit.
Good player, yeah. 46 mil, James Maddison.
I think he's probably underperformed since he's been there. I don't think. Do you think he's lived up to the expectations?
No way. I think he's. I'll be really blunt.
I thought he was going to be quality for them.
I think he's been shit. I'm going to be really blunt. This is the player, by the way, that people were like, barring KDB, better than every other attacking midfielder in the league.
Yeah.
And he has been nowhere near. No, he had a good a good first few months, and then he did that. He's burped. He's been shit. Next one, 55 million, Brennan Johnson.
Nah.
Oh, absolute flop.
I agree. Let's go through some more of these individuals here. Lucas Bergvall, 10 million.
He's
a good player. I'll give you him. He's a good player. Yeah.
Let's have a look at some more here. They spent 16 million on a new goalkeeper, Kinkski, who can't get in the team.
I don't know enough about him. I think he's played 2 games. But...
29 million on Odegaard.
No,
I'm not having it, man. Don't like that signing.
Nope. 41 million on Archie Gray.
He's been good, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's another signing that's like, I'm going to put him in the no. Not a flop, but I'm putting him in the no. They shouldn't have signed him.
64 million on Solanke.
Nah,
that's a miss.
Nah.
Yeah, that's been bad. So again, that adds up to 219 million. Okay, that's 290 million out of the 350 mil that's been spent on players since you've been. Again, that's a 62% flop rate. Not as bad as Chelsea's, but it's it's not good. It's not good.
What I don't get about Spurs is, right, Spurs are a top 6 side, yeah? Like, top 6, right, yeah? Obviously, we might have to have conversations about that soon, innit? You know what I mean? Hopefully my club don't get relegated 115, because then we might have to have conversations about my club as well, innit?
Hang on, if you get relegated, you're automatically out the top 6, bro. I'm just pointing that out to you. Like, we don't even need
I don't even get like a separate trial.
Bruv, it's if you get relegated and you get stripped of those titles, it's not even a conversation. It's banished, and
I can't even defend my status as a top 6. No,
you cheat. You can't defend it.
Right. Okay. Understood.
And you're gonna have to come on into the skies like, with a wig. We have to call you like MB or something. I mean, come on to someone new as a Brentford fan. I don't know, something like that.
No. But you know what it is with Spurs, right? They're a top 6 club in it, yeah. But like, when was the last time they actually signed like a player that you went, damn? Like, City signed Haaland, City signed these players, yeah. Arsenal signed Rice a few years ago. Like, United, even though they've been like horrific, they've still signed players like Pogba. They got Zlatan. I know he was at the end of his career, but like Di Maria, Falcao, they still got all these players. Liverpool, Van Dijk. They tried to spend money on, obviously, Nunes, but turned out to be a bit of a flop.
I don't think they ever have. When you've got.
So the question is, why?
Jurgen Klinsmann is the only one I can think of, top of my head, where I go, that was a player. That was a player when everybody said top player.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore. But I'll tell you why they don't do it anymore, yeah? Because they want to buy players for resale value. They want to buy the young players. They want to buy the Odeberts. They want to buy the Archie Grays for 30, 40 million quid. Yeah, and then hopefully they'll have a good season, good couple of seasons, and then someone will buy him for a year later for 100 mil. That's all they're interested about. They're not interested about buying proper talent, yeah? Solanke, he's had one good season in the Premier League. One.
Yeah, that was a bad boy, that was. Bad boy. For that much money.
They don't go out and sign players that, like, are guaranteed to, like, take them up a level or, like, big names. They're always just... They are always
just put in the chat there, LB, right? They've spent 100 million on Solanke and Gray. If I give you 100 million and you come back with them two, let's be real. Come on, you've got to be able to do better than that. Surely,
Gray is I like Gray. Gray's a really talented player, but most of this season, they've played him out of position in centre back. That's the sad part for him. Like, he's not even playing.
But is that really the player that they should have been signing though?
No, I listen. I look at him as a kind of player that. Let's look at Man United this summer. So I want the Spurs fans to know my energy is the same. I want us to go and get my dream list here. Let's go and get Yorker as an example. Let's go out and get Costa in goal, or a really good goalkeeper. Let's go and sign an Osimhen. Then I'm happy with maybe the third signing that you get an Archie Gray, someone that's partly for the future. Then you go out and you get an Edison for the midfield, and then you go out and you sign another young player that can go in the 10. That is how I think you do it. I think you have to have a mixture. I like signing young players. Man United have done it the entirety of my life, but it's the mixture. For every young 18-year-old, like a Rooney or Ronaldo Fergie signed, he also went out and got Teddy Sheringham's. He also went out and got Van Persie's. He also went out and got players we even loaned for 5 or 6 weeks before, and very old, but still very talented, Henrik Larsson, to fill a hole because we know we needed some experience. It's about balance. And no team. And I remember when Man United had a really young squad about 5-6 years ago. And this is when Sky did proper punditry. And Gary Neville was looking at it. And the question on Monday Night Football was, will this team develop like your young team did, the class of 92? And Gary Neville said something, probably the best bit of insight he's ever given. He went, you never know how good young players are going to become. Some are really talented. And Arsenal remember this example. When they got Francis Jeffers, the hype around him was the same as a young Rooney. The hype was massive. There was talent. He petered out. So for every Rooney, there's a Francis Jeffers in that example. But the difference was that Gary Neville went, the problem these young United players have got, the McTominays and the Rashford, he went, there's barely a core. He goes, what we had was, we had Bruce, Pallister, Ince, Cantona, McClare. We had experienced top-level professionals to guide us. We weren't being asked as youngsters to be the match winners or the leaders. And that's the problem with the approach when you go through a summer and your main striker signings are players like Archie Grays, etc. What Chelsea have done, I think it's exposed that, is that you add all these youngsters in, and then all the pressure is on the youngsters to deliver. And I know people do this whole, if you're in the team, you're old enough to be criticized. There's an element of truth to that. I'm not saying you can't criticize young players, but again, when people say if you're in the team, you should be criticized like you're an experienced player, show me the examples of young players being the talisman, the leaders, and the spine of a team, and show me where that's been successful. Give for whatever argument you want to make about you should treat Archie Gray the same as you would a 30-year-old Champions League winner that you sign. Show me the examples of where what Chelsea has done and or buying like Spurs do has yielded consistent results on the football pitch that have led to trophies. Show me the examples. And that for me is the argument that I've gone back to more and more recently. Show me the examples of where what you're asking for has worked. And I think all football fans have got to look to this. Sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. All three of us do that. But I think an exercise we should all undertake when we're giving opinions publicly on football is what I'm asking for. Where is the examples of that working? And if you can't find any or think of any, if the only place you can find where it worked was, if you're Spurs and what you're asking for, the only club where it worked for once was Real Madrid. It's a shit example. You ain't Real Madrid. You ain't got the money or the pull for that. You've got to think realistically sometimes. And I don't think we do that enough as fans. And Spurs, I'm sorry to say this, probably are the most delusional fan base in England. This was a club who were bigging up this manager after 10 games and talking about new Fergie. Bigging up articles saying they're not Spursy anymore. And there were a few Spurs fans like Patrick, big up yourself if you're watching, Paddy, who was like, I ain't buying into this. I just don't feel right. But there were so many that got so gassed and taken away with it. And to be honest with you, my club's in the mud. But at least I ain't Tottenham. That's the way I look at it. Do you know what I mean? It's awful. My dad's going to disown me now, but fuck it. By
the way, I've heard some Spurs fans use injuries as an excuse. Injuries don't take you to 15th in the league. Yeah, they might take you from 4th to 5th, from 5th to 6th, 6th to 7th. They're not. If you're using injuries as an excuse for being 15th, then nah.
Yeah.
No. That ain't right, man.
Arsenal Avenger here. Yeah, Van der Vaart was a good signing. You are right. Van der Vaart was a very good signing. That's a good shout, to be fair.
That is a great shout, actually.